Welcome back. We're here to do the Divine Feminine update for this week's energy. Now, yes, when you land on this, you can get your own individual messages. I'm hoping the camera is going to be working. We are in that shadow phase, getting ready for Mercury retrograde. And this one's going to be a pretty interesting one, especially because of the fact that we are having Pluto next month moving into the house of Aquarius. These wrap-ups relating to karmic cycles are going to be quite pivotal. Now, we have pulled the cards for time management reasons, wrapping up these energies before the end of the year, introducing new content in 2024. We're doing this in traditional style that is going to be quite time effective, especially because I'm balancing both a full-time job and YouTube. I'm wanting to really rejig things. Now, spiritually, what I'm seeing here. Oh, right. Okay. A lot of you really in your twin flame path, we have the marriage card. And, you know, this is one of those circumstances in the twin flame path. This is the point in the year that we can directly be getting quite triggered. There is a reset happening. There is also a feeling really where with planets and placements placed in the area of Sagittarius and Jupiter gearing up ready to go direct, that we are really looking at our belief systems. This can be religion, divorces, value systems, subjects to do with siblings, longevity of connections. Neptune also can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. It can make us extremely realistic. Now, Saturn did go direct. We also, with Neptune joining suit, can be becoming extremely realistic. Now, this can be, in the second week of December, quite a difficult week. I don't feel it's unmanageable, but it can be where, with Neptune, we have some large revelations, and I would probably give it a few days after the fact. Don't automatically go into the notion that you've failed or that maybe something isn't looking correct. What I'm actually seeing here is that we more than likely are going to have a review of the values. So there can be these big questions. Some of you also spiritually can be wondering if this is going to come full cycle. And also a lot of us have changed, and really what we're wanting out of relationships can be very different. We can be becoming more realistic in the relationship sector and want to go slow. Now, things are going to pick up pace. Not necessarily is slow going to be the name of the game, especially moving into the mid-month energy. I'm also seeing that you do have the tools here. You know, you could be looking back and saying, look, what is already with you? Now, spiritually, with this dropping down to an 8 in the past tense position, what I do see is there is a transformation here, and you are revisiting some of those things. This can be hobbies, this can be the tools that you have, the information you have surrounding your twin flame path, especially relating to divine masculine, of the things that you know. So that is actually your toolkit. It's also, how can I call it? It's the wisdom that you have with it, you can use it correctly. Information is power, so to speak, but there is something to do with an old dream that is coming back on the surface. But in the heart of it, when we are spiritually feeling a little bit disillusioned, and this has been a very tiring year, especially with my coaching sessions, the one thing that I have been perfectly honest with my clientele is that with both Venus and Mars that went retrograde this year, especially in your ascension process, more than likely, many of you, the things that you wanted to achieve, the patience that you wanted to have, it just wasn't there, okay? This was an internal energy this year where we were maybe deciphering things, pushing our energy forward, as well as trying to take time to go inside while simultaneously balancing. Now, as we're moving through this energy this month, and preparing for 2024, I do feel spiritually we're going to be more realistic about what our goals are, but also really needing to be patient with yourself at this time. There could be a need to slow down. And again, divine feminine here in the mix, I do feel is saying you're willing to follow your dreams, but you want some realistic means to attain them. You want the tools, you want the visual that a person is reciprocal, but it's like for some of you, you could be turning over a new leaf and trying something different. But I do feel there's going to be an attitude shift, and this attitude shift by the week's end I do feel particularly is going to give you a sense of motivation, but it's also going to show you how by doing things differently, you're going to get a different outcome. But just to be really, really gentle with yourself as you are moving through this path. I also feel if there has been a change in the circumstance, be it you're in communication or not, whatever this situation is, the salt in the wound, I'm hearing the term salt in the wound. This can be issues surrounding family and tribe. This could be your own personal social responsibilities. I also do feel that, there's almost people asking you to be realistic. But again, as I mentioned, you could be just doing this point blank zero. What I am seeing is not necessarily, is there a catch-22 if somebody is wanting to do something nice for you? So if you are reflecting back to the memories and you are looking back and thinking, gee, was that situation really real? Was what that person said really honest? I really do feel you have to take it at face value. If there were other things that were done in the dark, that is a totally separate situation. But to really hold those situations in your mind and in your heart as dear as possible, because some of you could be really feeling at the moment, that you got bad luck, and, there could be some juju going on where you're feeling, gosh, especially with the notion of the salt, you drop salt, oh my gosh, there's going to be a fight. You don't want any conflict. You're trying to keep it cool, especially because everyone is very tired. There can be some snappiness. So the guidance here is to protect yourself. It's to ground yourself, not to move into any conflict that really doesn't belong to you. It's almost like the notion of we've got 99 problems and that's another one isn't it. So I do see you being quite protective of yourself at this point, especially in a caution sense where you feel that you are misunderstood. We can be taking things personal at this point in time. Let's take a good close-up. I feel from a dream sense you're putting things out into the ethers. I do think an old dream of the past is coming back on the table to be revisited. I'm hearing the term a second chance. I also feel this is a spiritual test to test whether you are committed to this path. You are going to need to be quite clear with your thinking. When we are tired, we are not thinking correctly. I just keep hearing the term pausing. I'm getting a vibration of distrust. There is love, but there is distrust. I do feel this person knows of the disappointment. Yeah, I'm also hearing the term your eyes can't lie. I feel some are actually looking at, this could be directly at you, it could be a photo, this also could be your social profile, but there's something in your eyes that is speaking the truth. You don't need to say anything at all. I feel from a spiritual point of view, you think something's off. There's something off here. There's something not feeling right. Some of you also can be wondering if there are regrets. So there can be also personal regrets that are cropping up in your life that you're thinking about. This also can be amplifying the circumstance and the stresses within your twin flame path. I do feel there's a tad bit of disillusionment here. This is in terms of direction. I feel this adjustment that you're spiritually going through is causing a lot of conflict. Some of you are feeling incredibly alone. Some of you, I'm hearing the term a bunch of situations can be playing out during the week. For some of you, this could have already happened as well. This could have been a circumstance to do with a group. This could have been family. And you're kind of feeling run down regardless. And somebody could be calling upon you for some advice. This also could be something that you're thinking to yourself, gee, do I trust myself? I've been my own best friend, my own worst enemy in my life. Do I trust myself that I can make a decision that's correct for myself? Some of you could be getting readings. Some of you could be reading your tea leaves. Yeah. You do know what's best for your dolls, okay? Neptune can be messing with us a little bit. Sometimes the simplest thing is to step back, to take a moment, to know that you're protected. The whole world isn't against you. It's okay to it's not that it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not feeling great today. I'm not feeling optimistic. I'm not feeling like because we can't keep high vibe at all time. We're human beings. If you are wondering, is this energy going to dissipate? Yes, I do believe so. I do believe we're getting out of those shackles of that energy that we've been embodying for quite a while. Again, I do feel you to be quite protective. I do feel those of you who are in communication, there could be a major conversation that you are about to have. Again, I feel for some of you, you just don't know what to say. But as I mentioned, I'm really feeling some of you may have already broached this subject before, and it's like this person's going to read it in your body language. I'm going to pull a clarify because I just get this feeling this person's quite regretful. But for those of you that do cross-watch, we do cover the masculine and the karmic energy. So make sure to cross-watch because this can really give you some context of, what's happening week by week. Yeah, this is an old situation. Some of you could be feeling, 1 minute very needy, the next minute very detached, very private, very protective of self. This is an old situation, and I think, look, especially if this is a circumstance where you're directly communicating with this person, I think whatever this is, this person's aware of it, this person knows what's going on. Even if you are not in communication, this person's really heavily thinking about it. There is an old circumstance going on here that's trying to be cleared. It could have been causing you concerns and feelings that this person is looking elsewhere. You've had to follow through with the circumstance, regardless of feeling down about it, because you feel it is what is best. I feel if you do trust your instincts and you are patient and you hold true to where your boundaries are, I do feel you're playing for keeps, and I do think this can go in your favour. If you do want a personal reading, you can go to the link directly below. We do cover this energy weekly, and we have upgraded our members hub. Come through and join. You get the added support over the silly season for those of you that desire such. Take care, beautifuls. I'll see you soon.